And just want to remind you guys to stay on mute throughout the whole presentation. Towards the end, we're going to have time for a little Q&A, so you can ask questions on the participants, and then you can raise your hand and I will unmute you, or you could just write the question on the chat. Presenting today is Luca Serena. He's the owner of Serena Winery. He's going to be teaching us about Prosecco today, and he's going to talk about LaLuca Prosecco, which is named after Opici's fifth generation Luca. Luca, you want to say hi?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Ciao.
Hi, Luca.
So I think we could get started. Luca, whenever you're ready.
Yes, I am. So, nice to meet you, all of you. Thanks for being here for this presentation about Prosecco. Wonderful reality still of world wine success of Italian wines around the world. I think in US you can confirm it with a large success in the previous year, since Prosecco in 2009 became a D.O.C. denomination. But let's go back to the origin, to the story. In 1930, there are the origin to the first cultivation of Prosecco around our area. So it means Conegliano, Valdobbiadene. We are speaking of the northeast part of Italy. The main city is Venice. So I think everybody knows that Venice is the northeast of Italian country. And on 50 kilometers north of it, it starts the Treviso province, and just 20 kilometers above, we have the Prosecco D.O.C. actually area, but in the previous time, the original part of Prosecco, since when they found the cultivation of this grape. In Conegliano, why there is a big let's say tradition and success of this wine? Because we have there the first enological school regarding the cultivation of this grape. The grape that concerns Prosecco is called Glera, and we will speak it later on the characteristic of this grape. But as I told, let's go back to the history. In Conegliano, there is the first enological school relating the cultivation of Prosecco, while on Valdobbiadene nearby, there is the consortium of Prosecco D.O.C. that previously was the first quality of Prosecco recognized in the Italian classification of the wine regarding this brand. Going on with the year, on 66, we have the first road that's still nowadays called Strada del Prosecco. It means Prosecco Wine Road, that connect exactly Conegliano, so the east border of the small area, to Valdobbiadene, the west border. After some years, there was the first time that Prosecco was recognized from the Italian enological school as a D.O.C. wine. What means D.O.C? Denomination of controlled origin. This is the going from the top of the classification of the Italian wines. It's the second highest classification in terms of quality. It means that it must be recognized from a government label. In Italian, we call fascetta fiscale, and this actually is for the D.O.C. version a blue one, and for the D.O.C.G version a orange one. Going on with the history of Prosecco till nowadays, the large success for the internal market start after 2002 almost, where there was a large consumption of this wine, especially in our area, but later on it expanded to all the region of the Italian country. And in 2006 it was started some export. First market was Germany and country around like Switzerland and Austria, and after a while it becomes a worldwide success, going on in all the Europe and reaching after all the countries in USA and Far East. But for the important step relating to Prosecco was in 2009, when the original area that had the D.O.C appellation, it becomes a D.O.C.G appellation, that is the highest classification of Italian wines. It means denomination of controlled origin and guaranteed from the origin. Why it was this? Because in that moment, in 2009, Prosecco became a territory. Which kind of territory? Including two regions. The two regions are Veneto and Friuli. That is the northeast part of Italy. As I told before, our area is extended in two regions. This is all the area around Venice, and the highest quality recognized as D.O.C.G was the previous one recognized as D.O.C, so Conegliano Valdobbiadene, is 50, 60 kilometers, as I told before, above Venice. If you now we enter in the second slide in this territory between Conegliano and Valdobbiadene, we can see that due to the large success of this wine, we have reached even the UNESCO World Heritage appellation since last year, because Prosecco was a big success. But not only, but because this territory is really nice to be visited. We have a wonderful hills that make a wonderful surrounding around the two main cities that are the, let's say, capital of the origin of Prosecco. Going, as I told before, Conegliano and Valdobbiadene, they are the limit of the original area, now D.O.C.G, as we repeat. And what's the characteristic? Between these two cities, there are a lot of hills with different, let's say, sizes and different pendants, if I am correct in terms. This I don't know if this is the correct English word, I'm sorry. But I mean, Conegliano they have more light and soft hills. In Valdobbiadene area, they are more and more, let's say, hard. What is the characteristic to cultivate the grape Glera, that is now the grape of Prosecco? That is, all the harvest that happens usually in the month of September is made manually, because of the hills characteristic that in some cases, especially in Valdobbiadene area, is called heroic viticulture because of the characteristic of the hills. I suggest you, everybody, guys, when you will have the occasion to come in our area, have a nice flight to Venice. Venice is unique, but that come over to our territory is really something fantastic. The street of Prosecco between Conegliano and Valdobbiadene deserve a visit, and the color, the air, the fresh air coming down from the Alps and from the Dolomites mountains, it makes this territory really wonderful and the characteristic unique to produce this wonderful wine. So, going back to the grape used to make Prosecco, we are speaking about Glera. Glera is a grape variety of our region, so Veneto, including especially the province of Treviso, that is originally the one including Conegliano and Valdobbiadene. You can see on the right side of this slide where Conegliano and Valdobbiadene are located respect to Treviso. What is the method to produce Prosecco. That is very important for you guys to understand the difference between champagne, for example. We use to make Prosecco the Charmat method. It means that the second fermentation, it happens in steel tanks called autoclave that make a quick fermentation due to the contact between the original wine and the yeast and sugar, obviously, to produce the CO2 that makes the bubbles inside the wine. This method is very unique. It's created in Italy from Mr. Martinotti, and this method make the success of Prosecco. Why? Because the characteristic of the grape glera is very easy and very nice, fruity grape that combined with the fast fermentation, natural, obviously natural, but fast fermentation in the steel tank makes a wonderful fresh wine that can be used for aperitif, for part after dinner drink, and every nice occasion to celebrate something with a fruity and fresh wine. So this combination between glera as characteristic of the grape and the method of production make this wonderful characteristic of Prosecco unique in the world. The opposite method to produce bubbles and produce sparkling wines is the classic method, where the France teach us how to make them with the champagne. The fermentation happens in the bottle and takes longer time, making unique wine as well, but not so fresh. They have more structure, more heavy characteristic, and so on and so on. But this is very important to understand why Prosecco has this success. It can be produced in short time in specific tanks, as I told, and it makes this fresh and unique characteristic of this wine. What we can add about this large success of Prosecco, starting with I told you in the 2000, but going on in these 20 years, it became as a success of around 600 million bottles divided between D.O.C version, that is the extended area of the two regions, Veneto and Friuli, and the D.O.C.G that produce 100,000 million bottles that are let's say historical and traditional area between Conegliano and Valdobbiadene. But as you can see, this large success of creating 600 million bottles make this wine the only one in the world to have a so fast success and so large, let's say, worldwide recognition of the nice characteristic of this wine. Prosecco is appreciated in Europe, in America, in Far East as well. It's unique and people enjoy this very much. What we now going specifically to the Prosecco D.O.C, that is the one that we started even the project and the success with the LaLuca brand. Going specifically to the Veneto region, it includes 5 of our provinces. That here we can read Treviso, Venice, Vicenza, Padova, and Belluno. It's only excluded the area of Verona because Verona area is more famous for the still wines. For example, Soave as a white wine and Valpolicella for the red wines. Plus the 4 provinces in Friuli, that is the region nearby in the east, that includes Gorizia, Pordenone, Trieste, and Vigna. Trieste, I suggest to visit as well. Is a very nice city on the border with Yugoslavia, ex-Yugoslavia, especially now Slovenia. But Trieste has also in its highest side a small village called Prosecco, and that's why this region could become part of our territory because of the lack to have a village called Prosecco. I would say that as we told it before, some special characteristic of our territory make the wine unique. We have let's say strong winter because of the Alps, combined with very hot summer because of the Adriatic and our close location with Africa. This combination between hard winter and cold and hot summer make this aromatic and fruity characteristic inside the grape. Adding to this, we have a very high percentage of rain in our side of Italy that is not so usual for our country, but in our region it rains very often, and this make the wine richer of minerals and micro elements that, as I told before, make this wine unique. Going to the D.O.C, that is, let's say, the highest quality of Prosecco, we can say that this area is like the niche or like the exclusive, the best expression and exclusive expression of the quality of this wine, because of the characteristic of the hills, as I told before, because of more than 150 years of cultivation of this grape, and let's say even I would like to say the passion of the people inside this area to be in love with this wine and to trust that even going on with tradition, with generation of family to family, to continue with passion they work to cultivate manually their hectares and to do manually the harvest and to be very, let's say, respectful of the wine law to produce the best wine, but respecting, as I told, the law and what I would say the wine world teaches us to respect. What has more Conegliano and Valdobbiadene despite the whole territory of Prosecco D.O.C, that Conegliano Valdobbiadene has a microclimate because it's protected from the mountains, but immediately after them, that make the territory unique. This territory is really full of minerality, so you can feel in the D.O.C version more characteristic of this minerality inside the wine. So all expression of, for example, of fruits or some other characteristics that we will see before in the Prosecco are exalted in the D.O.C version. I hope, guys, that you also confirm this to me in the two versions of LaLuca that we are proposing to the market. Now I would say that speaking generally about the Prosecco denomination, I tried to give you in this 10 minutes the best, the most important and the best characteristic of this. What is important for me more to say to you that in the sparkling version, so in Italian called spumante version, what is really important to understand is that we have 3 types of wine of Prosecco depending the residual sugar contained inside the bottle. That means that the brut version between 6 grams per liter and 12 grams per liter is the most dry version that we can produce. The extra dry version between 12 and 20 grams per liter is the media, is the average quality that we produce, and is the most recognized as quality of Prosecco in the world because people appreciate a wide percentage of sugar on it. The dry version that is a little bit in opposite with what dry means, is the most sweet version. It means more than 30 liter, but less than 30 gram per liter, because after 30 we go in a semi-sweet wine that is not allowed in the Prosecco law. This is a very important part that I have to underline today, because guys, the extra dry version is very appreciated and very recognized as a good Prosecco in the world, but in my opinion, a very nice brut version, it will become more and more requested in the next years. Now, let's go a little bit more deeper, and in this I would like that also Andrea helped me to tell us the project that we did together with the family Opici, and thanks to the connection with Andrea Vitolo on it, and connecting the two families, Serena and Opici, together, we created the brand LaLuca, I would say already 5 years ago, creating this nice brand with a wonderful packaging, because I have to say that I am very proud that this packaging comes alive. First of all, in the flute version bottle that was longer than the one that we see now in the slide, but a unique packaging in that time for Prosecco. And that's why the success, I think, it comes quite fast, because we were presenting a very nice packaging, a very good quality Prosecco in a unique packaging. Nearby to it, we receive also very nice awards, as we see here in 2017, 2018, 2019, due to the quality also of the wine inside, and due to the wonderful job that you guys made in the US to make this brand famous and more famous, participating to the events, presenting to the very good location restaurants, and so on in your country. Andrea, do you want to add something about it?
Yes, sure. So guys, good evening, good morning for everyone. You know, my name is Andrea Vitolo. I am one of the person behind the LaLuca brand. I want to say some words, to add some words to what Luca has had to say. First of all, thanks Luca Serena for being here. We know each other since long time. Before the partnership, there is also a friendship and a trust-based relationship between, first of all, me and Luca. And so when I was appointed to look for a Prosecco partner for the Opici family, it was a big. I was very proud of this mission. And I was very proud, especially because, as you can see on the slide, this project has to honor the 5th generation of Opici family. And at the same time, Luca is also the 5th generation of Serena family, producing sparkling wines. So just to give you a little brief, the Serena family has always been into the Conegliano, one of the most important names producing sparkling wines. Now, of course, Prosecco, but they started a long time ago, over 1 century ago, producing sparkling wine in the territory. And also they have, beside the Prosecco, they also have a property in Champagne, which makes them a really important entity in general in the wine world as winemakers for sparkling wines. The idea beside the Prosecco LaLuca was exactly to connect two extremely important families of the wine industry. In US, the Opici family, and in Italy, the Serena family. So both of them has been a perfect match since the day one to make this LaLuca real. So the LaLuca brand is owned by the Opici family, and is has been created piece by piece to be one of the most interesting, and we did an extraordinary marketing analysis before we started. We created something looking at what all the other competitors were doing, because besides all the D.O.C regulation, and Luca can help me there, because he is a continued fight to against people that try to put on the market Prosecco, which is not at the level which it should be. So this is something that we take really care during the creation of the project and the wine for LaLuca. In fact, we decide first of all to create a product which is 100% glera. Very important, because some of you maybe knows that Prosecco can be made also with other percentage of other grapes. But our intent was to create a special kind of Prosecco. So first of all, 100% grera. Second, not just see, but look for the best subzone possible for the denomination, which everybody knows that for Prosecco is the subzone TREVISO. So first of all is yeah, thanks Luca for your support for the presentation. So first was the quality and the production. Second was the efficiency of the winery that Luca has. They have a very technology and high-end producing factory that that for Prosecco is something that is extremely important, because that is a guarantee of quality, that the quality is steady and efficient. Especially because we were expecting high volumes to move, and we need a partner that is not just a producer, but also a great service company for to provide all the wines and the logistics that we need. And this was again a winning partnership, because also in this case we never had a problem and it was part of the success also of the brand. That the source and the logistics were very, very well managed, both sides. Now, LaLuca has been created in 2000, I think first year 2014, and we have been working a lot during this year, starting with the 750 Prosecco D.O.C, then very quickly adding the 187 milliliters, and then in the line you also have spumante rosé, which is made with again on the same philosophy of the quality of the best possible result in the bottle. Also in this case, we put 90% of glera in the bottle with 10% of merlot. So again, very, very fastened to the territory, because the glera, of course, is a grape that grows mainly in the territory of Prosecco. And
hello.
I think we lost Andrea for a little bit, guys.
Yeah. I also, but I can continue.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, what Andrea was saying, yes, for sure. We work in all three qualities The main grape is Glera. Obviously, for Prosecco, it must be like this. In this moment, for Rosé, we are using Glera in the hope that will come soon the Prosecco Rosé version. We don't have still an official date for it, but we are working hard for it to receive the exact date to launch the Prosecco Rosé made with Glera and not with Merlot as it is now, but as with Pinot Noir. This is just a short information, but important. Andrea is back. Welcome back.
I'm back. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. Someone kicked me out. What did I say?
I don't know. Maybe it was an Italian joke.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was probably Michael Brandt doing that.
Or an American joke.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
It's for my accent. You did it for my accent? Yeah, I know. Okay, Luca, if you can wait just 5 seconds before we go ahead, I think we have a few questions that I would like from the crowd that I would like you to maybe say some words, and I have to ask the help of Priscilla here because as I was kicked out from Brands, I can't see any question more on the chat.
What are the chat?
I have a question before we get to the ones on the chat. So many times whenever I'm doing wine tasting, a lot of people ask me and they think any sparkling wine is champagne. Can you talk more about the difference between champagne and Prosecco? Because I always get that question whenever I'm doing the tasting.
Okay, very, very important answer. Different method of production. Charmat method, short and fast in specific tank called autoclaving against long process in bottle, classic method that is champagne. Characteristic, two different characteristics. Fruity, fresh wine for Charmat method, so Prosecco is like this. Structure and longer bubbles, but heavier wines for classic method champagne.
I'm sorry, I was looking at the question.
Thank you.
Pasting me. So Luca, the second question, which I think is very important for you to answer is first we have someone asking what's the yield per hectare difference from D.O.C and D.O.C.G.
Oh, very nice question. Interesting. Yeah, for sure. The percentage, no, I would say the quantity per hectare for D.O.C is 160 quintals per hectare and 130 for the D.O.C.G. So almost 20% less for the D.O.C.G because of the area, because of the quality of the grape. But
of course, and I will invite you to give some more information. This is a very important point for everybody to understand that besides the yield per hectare, what is the what makes the Valdobbiadene different than the regular D.O.C? Because of course at the taste the wine is much more fine. So there are differences during the production, in the sugar content, or in the vines.
I would say first of all characteristic of the territory. As I told before, the hills and the characteristic of the climate in that small area just beside the mountains is unique. Second of all, the longer process of fermentation normally for D.O.C.G, that means that it takes, for Prosecco normal, it takes minimum 1 month. For D.O.C.G, it takes normally minimum 2 months, makes the bubbles more persistent and more fine. Third of all, I would say even the yeast used to mix up with the original wine for the Prosecco D.O.C.G are the best quality that we can find in the market.
Okay. Okay. So there is another question saying if there is any of the Valdobbiadene fruit going into the production of the regular LaLuca. So are you using any part of the Valdobbiadene grapes for the LaLuca?
For the D.O.C. LaLuca, or
So,
no, normally no. We differentiate. For the D.O.C. version, we use the D.O.C. quality. For the D.O.C.G. version, we use the Valdobbiadene Conegliano grape coming from this territory.
okay. So yes. So Extradra is all Treviso, exactly. Yes, George.
Yeah.
Then there is a third question that I have to make, Luca. We were talking about this morning, and we knew there was coming, and the question is if you can give some insight or some market information about where are we, which point have we Rosé Prosecco you see.
You were not connected when I was just briefly speaking about it. I told that nowadays we are using Glera combined with Merlot, mixed up with Merlot, to make the rosé version that is nowadays already as a Prosecco rosé, but we cannot call it because until now Prosecco.
No, the question was another one. The question was, can you spend few words to tell us where are we with Prosecco rosé?
We are one signature far away from the officialization on our.
It's your signature?
One. Maybe our one. Maybe my father one. No, it's not true. But we are far one signature of the Minister of Agriculture that will be then published on our Gazzetta. After it, it will be 60 days for the fermentation minimum. That is wrote in the legislation, and after 1 month to put it on the market. So if everything go in the proper way, in October we will have Prosecco Rosé on the market, and we really hope so.
So I see there are no more questions. I think that's what people want to know. It's so how long is it gonna take for the signature of the president? Do you think it's gonna take a year, or?
Well, if we speak about our normal timing, yes, it will take so long, but we already wait 1 year for it. So now it's question of days.
All right.
All right. I don't see any more questions either. I don't know if Luca Opici has a few words for us.
Can you say anything, Marie?
Hi, thanks for selling LaLuca.
That's good.
Thanks to be here and follow up this presentation. I'm really, really happy that you joined your father in this conference call.
Yeah, we had to make an appearance. And Andrea and Luca, thank you guys for everything, all the support. You guys are wonderful to work with, and we're very lucky to have you guys.
Don, it's a pleasure, and I have to thank you for all the effort that you are doing, even in this hard period that I hope, especially for US, because you have also very hard situation, not only here in Italy, but US is also suffering a lot. We have to pass this period and now suffer together, but also support us together and be stronger after it.
Thank you.
Guys, thank you very much and good luck, everybody. We will be back, I'm sure, stronger in the market with our products. LaLuca is a wonderful brand, has a good quality, and has a wonderful team beside to promote it. And I hope that Prosecco Rosé will give us a new energy again. But I'm motivated to continue to make you the best Prosecco that you can have.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Luca Serena, for your time. Thank you, Andrea.
Thank you.
Andrea, thank you for your words and obviously for your precious and always very good connection between Serena and Opici.
Great.
I want to add,
thank you for organizing.
I just want to add a few words that Luca, of course, follow a lot the production part. He is very fascinated to the Italian part. As you everybody knows, I used to spend more than 5 or 6 months in the US, and I will be, especially in this moment, at your complete disposal. So coordinated with Priscilla, I will be able to help you with any wine dinner or to support you with the marketing activities that you want to make, any other Zoom. I am at complete disposal as I feel part of this family and of course, especially on the LaLuca. I want to push and help everybody to reemerge from this situation and start over. Don't be careful.
I know, right? Trying.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you, Luca. Thank you, Andrea.
Goodbye. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Ciao.
Yes.
Ciao. Arrivederci.
We gotta come up with something for him next.
Hi, Michael. Hi, Michael. Thanks you.
Oh.
Bye.
All right.